outside the bus. Actually, she heard that last day we saw. She heard a voice and the voice was telling to her that, "Listen, child," said the voice, "you shouldn't stand like that. Sit down." She actually heard this voice. Now, what happened afterwards? Let us continue from page number 121. We are reading "Madams Ride the Bus" from First Flight. I am reading from page number 121 from the beginning. Sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken. And Valley had sit down. As Valley saw a voice, and Valley had sat down. And now, actually, she turned to look that who had spoken. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her, but she was annoyed by his attention. And Valley saw that it was an elderly man, just like grandfather, elderly man, and really the man was concerned for her. The man when the man told Valley to sit on her seat, it's not only that the man was ordering, but actually from our expression it was clear that the man was really concerned for this little girl, and that is why the man told to sit down. "There is nobody here who is child," she said haughtily. Haughtily means here proudly. Now, when that elderly man actually addressed Valley, telling as child, Valley was somehow she became angry, and she told that there is nobody who is a child. She said haughtily, "I have paid my 30 paise like everybody else, like everyone else." And she told that elderly man, the old man, that I had paid the fare, the exact fare, 30 paise, just like the other men and just like the other passengers. So I am not a child. The conductor chimed in. Here, chimed in means break into a conversation. Break into a conversation means the conductor now came inside the conversation of Valley and the old man. And the conductor told, chimed in means actually the conductor came into their conversation. "Oh, sir, but this is a very grown-up madam." The conductor actually, we know the conductor was a jolly sort of man, and he was just telling these to that old man. "Oh, sir, but this is a very grown-up madam. Do you think a mere girl could pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone?" Means the conductor told the old man that, "Do you think a mere girl means an ordinary girl. An ordinary girl can pay her own fare and can go to that, can go to the town." Means indirectly the conductor wants to suggest that madam is something special. This girl is something special because she had paid her own, own fare. Though she was looking so small, though she was just looking like a child, but she had paid her, fare and moving towards the town. Actually, the conductor told this in a very light-hearted way, jokingly. Valley shot an angry glance at the conductor and said, "I am not a madam." Now, Valley was very angry when the conductor told this to the old man that he was a madam, he is a madam, something like this. Now, Valley actually shot an angry glance, and Valley was looking angrily towards the conductor and told, "I am not a madam. I am not a madam. Please remember that. Please remember that. And you have not even given, you have not yet given me my ticket." And not only that, he actually Valley reminded the conductor that I am not a madam, remember that. And not only that, please remember that Valley told to the conductor. And she also told, you have not yet given me my ticket. You have not yet given me my ticket, means you have not given me my ticket. So Valley was asking for her ticket also. I will remember, the conductor said, mimicking her tone. Mimicking means copying, imitating. The conductor, in a very joking way, in a funny way, the conductor was trying to copying her voice. And in that tone, copying her tone, the conductor told, I will remember. And everyone laughed, and gradually Valley too joined in the laughter, and everybody, the passengers in the bus, they all enjoyed this conversation between Valley and the conductor, and everybody laughed, and Valley also ultimately joined into that laughter. Now the conductor punched a ticket and handed it to her, and the conductor punched a ticket. The conductor, the TT, the take care, the conductor of bus, the TT in the train, they they can give a punch ticket. So they punched the ticket, and gave it to Valley. Just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Here, the conductor told Valley, just sit back. You just sit back and make yourself comfortable. You just feel comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid for a seat? Valley, just a minute ago, Valley had told the old man, Valley had mentioned to the old man that she had paid her, he paid her money of that fare. She had paid the fare. And here, the conductor, taking that reference from her speech, the conductor also reminded Valley or suggested Valley that why you are standing there when you have paid your money, so you just sit back and feel comfortable, make yourself comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid for a seat? The conductor is asked, actually telling this as if suggesting, though the conductor was not serious in his tone, but he was suggesting to Valley to do this. Because I want to, she answered, standing up again. And because I want to, she answered, standing up again. But Valley, I told Valley was, though she was only 8 years old, but she was authoritative. So when the conductor told or suggested Valley that you should sit and make yourself comfortable, immediately Valley stood on the seat and just told that because I don't want to sit, I want to stand, that's why I am standing. But if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus makes a sharp turn or hits a bump. But the conductor, suggested a good thing to Valley. But if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus makes a sharp turn or hits a bump. We know that if the bus makes a sharp turn, that there should be a jerking, or when the bus would hit a hump, there also would be a jerking, and because of that jerking, Valley might fall as he was standing on that seat. That is why the conductor suggested that you should sit, because you might fall when the bus makes a sharp turn or hits a bump. That's why we want you to sit down, child. Again, the conductor told, that is the reason. That is why we all want you to sit down, child. I am not a child, I tell you, she said irritably. Valley was very much annoyed because Valley already told conductor that, remember, I am not a child, or all this, I am not a madam, that Valley also told. And now the Valley, now Valley became very angry and told, I am not a child, I tell you. I said irritably, I am 8 years old. And Valley told, I am 8 years old. Of course. How stupid of me. 8 years. My with a note of exclamation. My here means as if the conductor was very much surprised to say, oh my God, or something like this. Of course. How stupid of me. 8 years. Yes, of course. The bus stopped. Some new passengers got on, and the conductor got busy for a time. Now, on another stoppage, the bus stopped there and new passengers came inside the bus, and the conductor was busy with them by punching their ticket and taking the money, fare and all this. Afraid of losing a seat, Valley finally sat down, and Valley realized that lots of passengers are getting into the bus, so they as he was standing on that seat, so any passengers might demand that as he was standing, so you come on that floor of the bus and stand there, let me sit. So Valley realized this, and immediately she sat on the seat. An elderly woman came and sat beside her. Now this time an elderly woman, that woman came and sat beside her. Are you all alone, dear? She asked Valley as the bus started again. So the elderly woman was one of the new passengers that just came inside the bus. And the elderly woman came and sat beside Valley and asked are you all alone? Are you all alone, dear? The elderly woman asked when the bus started again. Valley found the women absolutely repulsive. Repulsive means here very much hateful, here causing strong dislike. Valley actually did not like that old woman at all, did not like the appearance of that old woman at all. Such big holes she have in her earlobes. This is, earlobes. This is the soft part of the ear where the women wear the earrings. This is earlobes. So Valley actually noticed that there is big holes she had in her earlobes. and such ugly earrings in them, and the old woman was also wearing earrings, and earrings were very ugly. So that big earlobe, sorry, not big, big hole in that earlobes, and that ugly earrings, that also that valley did not like. And she could smell the betel nut the woman was chewing, and see the betel juice that was threatening to spill over her lips at any moment. And the woman was chewing betel nut. I feel you know the meaning of betel nut. Betel nut, that is supari, and betel leaves, and the woman was chewing betel leaf. Betel leaf means pan, betel leaf, and the woman was chewing, and the juice, the betel juice, that as if it seemed that it was threatening to spill out, as if when how the woman was, elderly woman was chewing that betel leaf with the betel nut, that the betel juice was threatening to spill out, means to come out through her lips, through her lips. And this is really very much irritating, that somebody is chewing a betel, and as her face is filled with a betel juice or betel saliva, and the saliva is threatening to come out any moment to the lips. It's really very irritating. And yes, that also made more disgusting to Valley. Who could be sociable with such a person? Here, sociable means friendly. That question came to Valley's mind, that the old man was very repulsive, very hateful. She disliked that woman because he is having, repulsive appearance. Her earlobes is having, a large hole, and she was wearing, very ugly earrings. And not only that, the woman was chewing betel leaves with betel nuts, and the betel juice, the saliva is threatening to come out in any moment. That really irritated Valley totally. And she could, and she was thinking that who could be sociable? Who could be sociable with such a person? And really, sociable means friendly. Valley was thinking, who could be friendly with such a person? Yes, I'm traveling alone, she answered curtly. Curtly means showing displeasure. I have got a ticket too. Now, every moment she is mentioning it, so that that when a child is traveling, then it is supposed that a child is traveling for free, means there is no fare for the child. The fare is not there for the child, or half fare is for the child. But here, actually, Valley, the question may come, why Valley always, mentioning, why was Valley always mentioning that fare, that she had a valid ticket, she had paid the fare, exact fare for the bus for moving to the town? Because by telling this, Valley wanted to prove that she was not a child. She had a valid ticket just like the other adult passengers. So she was not a child. Why? Because Valley mentioned it when she was telling, when she was talking with, the elderly woman also, elderly man also, with the old man, and here also when with the old women, Valley was talking. Valley here also again mentioned it, that I am traveling alone. She answered curtly, and I have got a ticket too, and I am having the ticket. I am having a valid ticket. Means it's not that I'm traveling free of cost. Yes, she is on her way to town, said the conductor. Now the conductor again chimed in. The conductor again started. She came in the conversation between Valley and the woman. Yes, she is on her way to town with a 30 paise ticket. With a 30 paise ticket, And the conductor again reminded to Valley. Oh, yes, the conductor again told this to the old woman. Yes, she had been there with a 30 paise of ticket. Yes, she is traveling to town. Oh, why don't you mind your own business, said Valley, because twice earlier Valley reminded or even threatened or warned the conductor that I am not a child, I am not a madam. Twice we saw. Now again for three times, the third time, the conductor is mentioning that, she is on her way, said the conductor, with a 30 paise of ticket, something like this. Oh, why don't you mind your own business, said Valley. Don't you mind your own business? Means just give oil to your own machine. But she laughed all the same, and just telling this, She laughed, and the conductor also laughed too. The conductor also took it in a light way. The conductor was a very funny sort of person, and the conductor was making joke with so little a girl, 8 years old only. That is why the conductor did not mind anything when Valley told you just mind your own business or something else. And after telling this, Valley actually started to laugh, and the conductor also joined in that laugh also. But the old woman went on with her drivel. Here, a silly nonsense, some nonsense talkings. This is drivel. The old woman, the old woman, just like the grandmother and grandfather and grandmother, is having that tendency that they always preach, they always preach that, good things, new morals, always want to learn, always wants to teach the elder grandchildren and all this. So here also, the grandmother started. But the old woman went on with the trouble, and these teachings, what the old woman was telling to Valley, it really seemed to her just like drivel, means just like nonsense. The old woman was talking like nonsense. Is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? The old woman was telling this to Valley. Is it proper for such young person to travel alone? You are so young, you are so little, so you are traveling alone. Is it proper? Do you know exactly where you are going in town? Now the second question. Do you know exactly where do you going in town? Now third question. What's the street? Means what is the address? Do you know where you are going? What's the house number? Actually the old women were asking a plethora of questions to Valley. Questions after questions. And Valley found it disgusting, more disgusting every time, because she really did not like this. You needn't bother about me. I can take care of myself, Valley said. And Valley, being annoyed, at last Valley told this, that you needn't bother about, you needn't think about me, you needn't bother about me, you needn't concern about me. I can take care of myself, Valley said, and turning her face toward the window and staring out. And immediately Valley turned her face towards the window, and she was staring outside through the window, and she was actually really enjoying the scenarios that were visible outside the bus. Understood? I feel it's a very simple story. Now we are having few questions over here. Why does the conductor call Valley Madam? Actually, call Valley Madam because from a light-hearted spirit, to make fun, the conductor calls Valley Madam. Why does Valley stand up on the seat? Because when Valley was sitting on the seat, and actually she could not see properly outside the bus window, and she wanted to enjoy and she was trying to see that what she could see outside the window. That is the reason that she was standing on the seat, so that she could actually watch outside. She could stare outside over the window curtain. What does she see now? We see, last day we discussed, she could see the landscape, the small hill, the trees, and green fields, and all a small a small canal, and all this ditch, all this. What does Valley tell the elderly man when he calls her a child? He told, now I am not a child. Here the elderly man, Valley told the elderly man that I am not a child. I am not a child. I am 8 years old. I am not a child, 8 years old, like this. Why didn't Valley want to make friends with the elderly women? Because Valley actually had a repulsive feeling. Valley actually started to hate the old woman because of his appearance. That she is having large holes in that earlobes. This part earlobes where the women actually wear the rings, and she is having ugly rings in that earlobes. Not only that, she was chewing betel nut and betel leaves, and the betel saliva, actually betel juice was threatening to spill out over her lips. And not only that, she had been asking questions after questions to Valley. So as a whole, Valley did not like the women, and that is the reason that Valley found that nobody could make friendship with such sort of women. Understood? Now let us start part 3. Her first journey. What careful, painstaking, elaborate plans he had to make for it. Now she was thinking, this is the first journey ever, first journey. This is the first time that Valley was riding bus, the first time. And what careful, and for this, what careful, painstaking. Painstaking means very, hardy, very, what should I say? Very tedious, and not tedious, rigorous, very rigorous plan he had to, very rigorous, elaborate plan that she had make for this. She had thriftily saved whatever stray coins come her way. Thriftily means here spent money carefully, means miserly. Thriftily saved whatever stray coins. Stray coins means that individual coins that comes irregularly. Suppose anybody comes to their house, any relative, and when they are going, actually they could give money to Valley, and Valley could save all this. Coins came her way, resisting every temptation to buy peppermints, toys, balloons, and the like. And finally, she had saved a total of 60 pies. So Valley found it how difficult it was to restrict herself from buying peppermints, toys, balloons, and all these, and these things. Because whenever a child gets money, the child is always interested to buy peppermints or balloons or toys the child likes. Valley also liked all these things very much, but still she actually restrained herself from the temptation of buying all these things, and ultimately she was able to to save that 60 pies rupees. She needed 60 pies. How difficult it had been, particularly that day at the village fair, but she had resolutely stifled a strong desire to ride the merry-go-round, even though she had the money. And really, on the fair day, they had a fair in that village, and still she was in the process of saving the money for undertaking the bus journey. And that day, on the fair day, everybody were riding the merry-go-round, but still it was very tough for 8 years old girl to restrain herself, or not to spare the money and riding in the merry-go-round. Though she had the money of her own, it's really difficult, but she had to make all these rigorous plan, and had to sacrifice all these just to undertake this bus journey. Understand, everyone? I feel you have understood. Do you have any queries? If not, then today it's up to this, it's time up. So next day again we will resume. Okay, next day again we will resume from there where we are leaving it, and let's hope that to next class we may complete the chapter. I feel you are enjoying the chapter, and thank you very much for joining my class. Bye bye from my side.